Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Sairawati binti Abdul Razak. My ID matric is 2019248312 and I'm from group 5F. My group choose Malaysia Airlines as our company. This slide is prepared for Madam Ruqayyah bin Ibrahim. This is my table of content, consists of industrial relation, the issues, recommendations and conclusion. First, let me tell you about the industrial relations. The relationship between an employer and the trade union that represent his workers is known as industrial relations. There is a problem between employers and workers, which causes workers to protect their right through trade union in industrial relations. The government has stepped to play a key role in establishing harmonious industrial relations, partly because it has become an employer of millions of industrial workers. The Industrial Relation Act 1967, which governed trade unions in Malaysia, allow employers the authority to refuse recognitions to specific group of people who want to engage in collective bargaining. These include union members who work in management, executive, confidential or security position where the union does not have simply majority of employer support, or when the union is not the suitable union to represent the employers. The Director General of Industrial Relations has the power to provoke this privilege. So issues related to the industrial relations is issues on reconnections and dismissal. We move to the first issues, which is related to the reconnections. Malaysian Airline Berhad has been urged by the Malaysian Trade Union Congress MTUC to award immediate recognition to the National Union of Flight Attendants of Malaysia, NUFAM. In a dispute with NUFAM, the court refused MAB to appeal. This was in response to the national carrier's refusal to accept that in-flight supervisor IFS were not hired in any managerial, executive, confidential or security role. Jay Solomon, the MTUC Secretary General, claimed must had refused to recognize NUFAM as a union representing its employees since it was founded in 2015 to replace Malaysia Airline Berhad, which is MAB, which was one out. As a result, IFS workers have the right to vote. Recognition is very important to the trade union. Union must receive at least 51% vote among eligible employee to be recognized before an employee union can begin negotiating with employer on behalf of the company's workers. The employer must first recognize the union. These issues also involve the NUFAM and Malaysia Airlines, where the president of NUFAM, Ismail Nasaruddin Abdul Wahab, was dismissed wrongfully by Malaysia Airlines in 2013. This was confirmed by the Federal Court in Malaysia and affirmed a High Court judgment because of comment he made regarding to the airlines. On November 8, 2013, Malaysia Airlines issued him a show cause letter, which was followed by immediate suspensions. On November 29, 2013, Ismail received another letter terminating his employment. According to the Malaysia Kini report, Malaysia Airlines claimed that Ismail had issued the statement in violations of his duties as a chief steward of the airline, where must suspended Ismail for criticizing the CEO and spoke the price about overworking, underpaying of his workers, as well as health and safety concern arising from mass fleet alignment and weight loss program. The justice said the Court of Appeal made a mistake by focusing solely on Ismail Nasaruddin's obligations under his contract of employment or collective agreement without giving his duty as president of NUFAM enough weight. Following that, the Industrial Court awarded RM111,454 in compensation to Ismail Nasaruddin because the dismissal made by the Malaysia Airlines against his duty as a president of NUFAM was wrong. Move to the recommendations. Since the presence of labour union can present significant challenge for a company, particularly to the human resource department. However, there are several recommendations for companies to deal with the union issues. Firstly is improve the communications, where workers' voices are frequently conveyed to the management through trade unions. In this case, it appears that MAS is attempting to eliminate unions members one by one because they refuse to accept the union. It demonstrates a lack of clear communication between MAS and NUFAM. The employer must improve communication with the unions in order to solve the problem. Secondly is improve the perceptions. With clear communication, it can improve perceptions. Towards it, then both side perceptions, which is the employer and the employees, can be improved. The employer's perceptions of the union is currently negative, but it can actually benefit its employer. Create the impressions that a union is a solution, not a problem for an organisation. Third is partner. Rather than treating them as enemies and eliminating them one by one, employers should view a union as a partner. By working together to solve the problems, the gap in between the employer and the union will be bridged indirectly. Then they will eventually form a positive relationship with each other. To conclude here, according to the issue, Malaysia Airlines MAS, a government-owned company, has a troubling history with workers and labour union. The first issue arises when MAS challenges the secret ballot and reconnections in the High Court, proving that flight attendants in Malaysia Airlines agree that NUFAM is their preferred union. Second, when the president of NUFAM make a statement in his capacity as a president of NUFAM, he is abruptly fired by Malaysia Airlines. Okay, the issue of employer, the connections of union has long been a source of contention in Malaysia, with the trade union accusing employer of deliberately delaying the connections of a union, while employee allegedly unfair practices to suppress the unionism in the workplace. According to the Malaysian law, Malaysia Airlines, as an employer, will have to agree on a list of qualified employees eligible to vote before the secret ballot. So contesting the result and the union subsequent connections is bad. Aside from that, I believe that communication is critical when an employee is dealing with a trade union, as stated in the recommendations. This is due to the fact that trade union play an important role in effective communication between workers and management. Employers must also establish work procedure that meet legitimate worker interests as well as valid union interests. That's all from me. Thank you for watching.